Conor McGregor just came back to the UFC cage this morning, but unfortunately he got injured and the fight was stopped at 69 seconds of the very first round. Probably a knee injury, a ligament injury. It's a long rehab, and that just shows you the harsh truth of UFC fights. Conor came back after 5 years away, back-to-back injuries at 37 years old, at 170 pounds, a lot of new weight, and when he jumped and landed funny on it, he probably torn his ligament right there. So without further ado, let's look at some stuff and what happened there. So for the strategy for this fight, I really agree with how Conor opened up very hard, because I think that was his only chance. A long fight against Max Holloway is probably a loss, especially 5 years away, and Conor is not known for being a slow-paced fighter that wants the later rounds. The opposite is right. He is good in the first and second round, so I expected him to open strong. And for the kick, I like this kick. I use it a lot in my fights. The Verdum kick, Pereira used it. A very big kick early on to put the pressure, be aggressive, and put the other fighter on the fence very early on. Important for aggressive fighters, for strikers, and something that Conor used to do a lot in his prime, like you can see right here. But coming back after 5 years at 170 pounds and 37 years old, probably his body just gave up on it. So that also showed us the last point. When we grow up as fighters, when we get to the later stages of our career, we cannot do the same stuff. Longevity requires less acrobatic moves and more fundamental techniques. When you're early in the career, when you're young like me, a prospect, no problem, you're jumping around, you're flying around the cage, and it's okay. When you get older, especially after layoff, you don't want to be so hyperactive with your movement. You want to be fundamental. Look at Pereira, 37 years old also, very fundamental with how he works, very stable, is not relying on speed, on explosiveness, mostly on timing and on strength, the stuff that don't go away with time. So I believe in an overall strategy to open up fast and open with that kick. It is a good strategy for Conor's style against Max, and probably a good way to win. But the choice of the flying kick, of the jumping kick, was probably the wrong choice because of the age, because of the situation. I think he could have just thrown a 1-2, a strong 1-2 at the beginning and get the same reaction if that's what he wanted to do. It also caught Conor by surprise, because he said that at the warm-up already, he threw hard kicks, jumped around, the whole camp he did all that, and nothing happened. And suddenly in the fight it happened. Now I'll let you know as a fighter that you have a lot of adrenaline right there. So when we have the adrenaline before the fight, we feel that everything is good. We feel like every day we feel the mat, we can jump around, we can do stuff, but the adrenaline, everybody watching, the body just gave 100%, and that's something you don't do a lot of times in sparring. The body sometimes give more than you're used to. So when you land funny and when you throw hard, stuff like that happen, especially at a later stage of the career. That's why also we do very hard warm-ups before the fight to get ourselves warmed and ready to explode. And the whole walk-off to the cage and everything and the ceremony gets you very cooled down. So I didn't see Conor or Max even sweating to start with. So to start with something big was probably the wrong choice to do, but in hindsight it's always easy to say. And guys, give it up for Conor. He's a legend of the sport. He inspired many fighters to go and chase their dreams from my generation. So give it up for the king. And let me know in the comments below, do you think Conor will come back or he will retire right there? He didn't take the gloves off, but he already injured a leg with an ACL tear, and a second surgery is pretty hard, and he's 37 years old. So the rehab will be very hard, and coming back at this stage of the career is something that I don't think will happen. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and see you in the next video.